guys, so how you doing? We're going to be talking today about another defensive tip, and if you're taking notes, the first thing you should write down, you've heard me say this before, is defense dominates the tempo of the game. So talking about keeping an offensive threat, moving the ball from the defensive side of the field to the offensive side of the field, and just keeping pressure on the other team's defense so that their offensive players get stuck on the field. And we're talking about basically LongSticks Unleashed here. So we're going to see a bunch of clips of how it looks from fast breaks and scoring opportunities, but I want you guys to have confidence with your deep holes to run down and be able to score. You're not just a one-dimensional player with being able to just stop and pick up ground balls. You need to be a threat across the field. And this is to kind of give you guys a little bit of motivation, inspiration to shoot for something a little higher. And if you guys practice shooting in practice, I kind of hope that maybe you have the opportunity to get in the game. And like I always ask every year, if the game's on the line, are you the player that wants the ball in their stick to make something happen? And if you don't think you're the player to go down there and make something happen, what skills or what things we need to work on to give you guys the confidence to believe in yourself that you are the player that will go down there and either get an assist or get a goal or make something happen, whether you're a defensive player, face-off guy, I don't care, or the goalie, I don't care who you are. But when the game's on the line, have the confidence to have the ball in your stick to be the one to go down there and do what needs to be done. So that's what we're looking for this year. And yeah, awesome. Let's get this into practice and let's get this into games.
Sophomore out of Connecticut. Right-handed rip, Canto is all over it in the outlets. Towson's got numbers. This is Kobe Smith. And that is why Kobe Smith is respected as one of the top defenders in the nation. Not a terrible dodge by Zinn with the short stick matchup, but Tyler Canto gobbles up the high-to-high, and then the Tigers are off and running. Kobe Smith is like a power forward out on the run on a fast break.
Yeah, you saw that overhead by Hartzell as they've got a little transition opportunity here.
Miles Jones feeds it inside. Look who it is! Kyle Hartzell hanging around the crease.
There you go. We were talking about your LA vibe right now. Of course, everybody's got these tie-dye jerseys on, but you got you're repping the Archers as well. All right, tell us about that goal, Brendan.
It was from Santa Monica, I believe. Jared Newman from way out.
He is my front runner for fastest shot, and this is exactly why. This type of range, I mean.
Manley pushes it in, backhand, goal! Mike Manley, impressive. Tone. Hunter Forbes back out there again. Scott Ratliff with it on the 10th run. Lets it go. Goal.
Instead, it's ground by Jack and Cannon. Score tied at 13. Miles Jones to Ratliff. Ratliff the bounce pass and Trenner the finish.
Jones wisely goes one more, and Ratliff outdoes them all with a bounce pass.
Okay, so this last one I want to spend a little more time on because it's a little bit of a play off of what we do on our defensive clears anyways, where we hit that defender that's kind of on that wing that we're looking to substitute. So I want you guys to watch the play for a little bit, and then we'll talk through what our clear looks like, and then watch this one more time and as it relates to what we're doing with our clear. So take a look at it, and then we'll talk about it on a chalkboard, and then we'll watch the clip one more time, and hopefully you guys put the pieces together. Okay, so we're gonna kind of start explaining our clear as it relates to what you guys just saw. You guys just saw the clip, but now we're gonna kind of do a chalkboard of what our overall clear looks like. So I have this field diagram set up. We have the box right here. This is a substitution box. It's kind of off the sketch, so it's hard to see. But we see the beginning part of our clear where our deep holes have banana cutted out away from the goal. You know, in our other deep hole, he's gonna position himself. He's breaking up field looking here. Our midfield, our LSM, which is kind of always in the top left position. We have a midi out here and then a midi on the crease. That's our normal defense. This midfielder is breaking to this bottom side of the box, curling back toward the ball. The LSM is breaking to the top side of their opposite restraining line, curling back toward the ball. This midfielder is breaking straight up field. We're looking to feed either of these two as we start our clear. So the goalie, we're looking for that midi breaking. That's our first look. We're looking for the LSM breaking. We're looking for this midi breaking. And then he's rounding this cage this way. He's looking for the deep hole back left. If that's not there, he's coming around looking for the deep hole out here. If that's not there, now we're looking at this deep hole that's breaking upfield this way, kind of positioning here. If that's not there, we have our midi sitting in the box, ready to sub. We're going to yell a panic call. This defender is just going to simply step off. This midi is going to cut on. The goalie is going to continue to walk up, and we're going to hit that midi breaking across. That's our basic clear. And then we have our attackmen. They're up at the top of their straining box. I showed them in their slow break, but they're going to be up here a little bit. Kind of in that position to be able to support. We can have that attackman flip over. But we don't want to do it all the time because they'll catch on to that. So anyways, that's our basic clear. But as it relates to the scenario that we kind of see here in the video that you guys just watched, I just kind of want to walk through it. So basically what looks like it happened is we have our breakout. So our deep holes, we're breaking out the bottom of the restraining line on the box side. We got our deep holes doing a banana cut out wide. And then the midi, he's breaking out to the lower restraining box opposite side. The LSM, he's breaking out to the far side. He's breaking out to the far side restraining line. And then the midi, he's breaking up the middle, curling back. So remember, this job's guy, his role, he's the onside midi. He's got to maintain field balance. So whether we're bringing the attackman across or this deep hole is going over, this midi, his only job is to maintain field balance. He's got to recognize where we're at and make sure we're not offsides. So it looks like what happened was the goalie, he didn't get his feeds. He didn't see what was going on. We got the ball he probably rounded the cage. We got the ball out to this deep hole. This deep hole drew an attackman to jump him and then leaving this deep hole wide open for a ladder clear coming up the side, right? So we still have our midi out here ready to come in, but we don't need to use him. And this deep hole walks over. This midi's got to recognize he's got to stay back. He's midi back. As we're doing that, once we see that we're able to clear the ball on the side, the LSM, he's coming straight to the crease to seal the offensive player on. And then the midi, he's coming up, and then he's going to be floating over to help. And the deep hole, with the ball, he can take it down. He's probably wide open. He's probably going to draw a midi out this way so we can feed either a guy cutting across or directly feed the crease. But he feeds this midi out here, and then everyone starts to rotate. He starts to head back. As he crosses over, this midi can come in. We're in yellow. And then we're just looking to sub the LSM through the box. But this leaves it wide open for this guy to feed that midi. Then he feeds the LSM on the crease for a quick little layup. Had that not been there, we'll rotate the ball through X, and then we'll pull this midi off to the box, and we'll sub our offensive midi back on. But you can see in the video how it worked out. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. And I know it's a lot of just chicken scratch on the whiteboard, and I ran through that pretty quickly. But we talk about it in practice, but you can see how the ladder clear up on the box side works, and we can see how we're using our LSMs to seal the offensive players, the other team's offensive players on the field. They can't substitute while we're running. They can't substitute on defense with everyone coaches. So hopefully that makes sense, and we'll watch the clip one more time and see you guys how it rolls back together. So awesome.
Tie-dye jerseys, and all the players have their Instagram handles on the back. They're born online. The players release which teams they're playing on by tweeting Bitmojis. I think that kind of makes sense. And Ratliff on the doorstep. And apparently the philosophy for Team Baptiste is to set up the long poles right out in front.
I'm telling you, you play defense